This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at the best Sports Direct store in the UK. Have you ever seen a Sports Direct like this, Ben?
No, but have you ever seen a Bobby Parker like this?
No. Shout out Bobby Parker. Is that the same one you've always had?
I think I've had a couple of them, I think.
Right, maybe he can send you one for Christmas, eh?
Yeah.
Got all your stable down here. Some talent in that stable, Ben.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I can't recall a UK stable that's as talented or as good as that there, so...
Well, there's a new one to your stable. Come in, Chris. I know you two have been kind of working behind the scenes for a while, but just tell me, officially now linked up. Talk me through it, Ben.
Yeah, Chris obviously come over. He's done a million rounds with Josh, and when they spar, it's hilarious because they both know every trick that each other brings. But obviously Josh come over to help us out with the Ramirez fight and was doing a bit of work with us over there and ended up linking up after that.
Chris, always a big decision for a fighter to move trainer, change trainer. So talk me through why Ben Davison.
I just think the setup and everything that's done in the gym was what I always wanted, you know what I mean? So I think it was just easier for me to just be down there as well. We've got loads of fighters. I don't really need to go anywhere for sparring, so it's all right, man, it's all good.
What are the plans for Chris, Ben?
Obviously he's been sorting out a few bits with his management and that, so working out a fresh start to next year. And rebuilding. Obviously had the loss against McKinson. We would say we'd take that fight as a rematch, but I understand, you know, it doesn't make sense for McKinson. We fully understand that, so we'll be looking to rebuild on a different route. But Chris is above of that level, if not above, and it's our job to make sure that he proves that next year.
So, Chris, well done on the move, and we'll grab a word soon. All right, my man. Cheers. Oh, I've got you with the England flag there. You're going to be a Scot come Feb 26.
Yeah, I'm an adopted Scot, so...
Yeah, saw a little bit of needle up there for the first time between Josh and Jack. I spoke to Jack about this. A lot of people saying, oh, how are these two going to get up for this? There's so much respect. It's an undisputed fight. Josh wants to keep them belts. This is what Jack Cattrall's waited his whole life for. So I'm sure both will be bang up for it come Feb 26.
Yeah, look, this is a massive opportunity for Jack Cattrall. Massive. An opportunity that's never going to cross his path again. Anything even like it. Undisputed in one fight. What? But... this is a massive opportunity for Josh Taylor as well, you know, on a huge platform like Sky's Homecoming. When people mention UK boxing, this is a chance for him to remember this night. Homecoming is the only UK undisputed champion in history, a four-belt undisputed champion in history. And he's homecoming in Scotland. So this is a huge opportunity for Josh to put a showcase performance on, and one I believe he'll do so.
It's an incredible achievement last time against Jose Ramirez. A bit of a shame, well, a big shame that it wasn't televised. This time, as you said, the biggest platform, sports platform in the UK, Sky Sports. Josh Taylor's back headline on it, so that's a big thing in itself. Yeah,
and that's like I say, that's a huge motivation in itself, because this is an opportunity for when people talk about Josh Taylor's career, when it's all said and done, this is a potential for him to remember this night. Walking to the ring with all those belts, on his homecoming, in Scotland, at the Hydro, and he'll make sure that he'll want to make sure that he capitalises on that, and it's one that will make sure that will happen.
How was the knee?
Getting there. It's not absolutely 100% yet, but it's getting there, and he had some good rehab on it over in America, and it's on the right tracks.
Was it his decision to shut down any talk about future fights? Was that your call? Whose call was that?
We didn't even talk about it, we just both know, because we're both professional. It's professionalism. And the Teofimo Lopez situation only just confirms that, but it's not nothing that we didn't already know. Full focus has to be on Jack Cattrall. Do I believe that there's a golfing class? Yes, I believe that, but that has to be proven. We will prepare for Jack Cattrall like he's the best fighter that's ever stepped foot on this planet. But, as I say, even if it looks easy work on the night, I'm not saying it's going to be easy work. It may end up being a lot tougher fight than we are. Sometimes you turn up, you're just not at the races. But we'll be preparing for, every possible scenario, every possible outcome. But even if it ends up looking easy on the night. It's not easy because it takes a lot of hard work for it to end up looking that way. So, yeah.
Do you think Jack Cattrall's got more gears in him than what he's shown so far, kind of British European level?
I think he's a better fighter than what people suggest that he is, or people think that he is. But I do believe, and I like Jack. I really like Jack. You know,
You've worked with Jack before.
I've actually held pads for Jack. Yeah, like he come over to Vegas and that. I do like him, but there is a golfing class. Like there's not any two ways about that. There is a golfing class. So it's Josh's job to make sure he gets in that ring at 100%. And as long as he gets in there at 100% and performs at 100%, then it will be a showcase performance.
Reflections on your man Devin Haney's win in Vegas the other night?
Yeah, good performance. You know, I think he may be the youngest world champion in boxing at the moment. I think he may be in probably the best / toughest division in the world, and with the best resume this year, if not altogether, out of all of them, and he's the youngest. So just that itself speaks about how high that young man's ceiling is. But something that I absolutely love was after the fight, he come back to corner. What did you think? We knew he'd won pretty wide. What did you think, like in terms of performance and that? And I knew instantly he wasn't happy with that. Whereas most people would go, 23 years of age, former world champion, successful defence at the MGM Grand. He wasn't happy with that. But that mentality is why his ceiling is so high. With an opportunity now, if him and Kambosos get on to become an undisputed.
Have your other guys got that mentality as well?
Yeah, like Josh watching back the Ramirez fight, he still goes on about it now. I could have stopped him, could have done this, could have done that. And I said to him, you're right, 100%. You could have stopped him. But he was saying, you know, obviously he hurt his hand through the fight as well, and that had an impact. But it's good for him to look back on that, for us to say, when we were saying this is what we meant. Now you can see it. Yeah, I can see it now. That's improvement. For us to have these discussions, that's how you improve. Going back over, it's easy to go, oh, we won that fight, we don't need to go back over that fight. Well, no, we go back over that fight and look at where we could have improved. Just like I was just mentioning about Devin, that's the same mentality. Josh looking back at Ramirez fight, not just satisfied with the fact that he won, but with the fact of, I could have stopped him. If I'd done this or I'd done that, what did you think about this? What did you think about that? Those discussions is how you improve.
You mentioned Haney and Kambosos there. We look forward to seeing that, hopefully. What did you make of Teofimo Lopez's loss, and what went wrong for him, in your opinion, against Kambosos?
I just think that, look, that was probably the worst we're going to see Teofimo box in his career. I hope that he, you know, comes back and does well and whatnot. But, you know, he got carried away. I was just talking about it there. People can get carried away with the hype and everything that's being built around him. I think that he chinned Richard Comey, great shot. Then the win against Lomachenko, and I just think they overhyped and believed the hype behind his power. I think that he can punch, but I don't think he's a Deontay Wilder. All I've got to do is touch her, and the fight's over. But I believe that he fell into the trap that he believed that that's what he was. Kambosos said after, heavy-handed, but nothing I hadn't ever seen before. And that's the problem. That's, you know, leading up to the fight, talking about Josh, talking about Devin. We're not sitting here talking about anybody else. Same with Devin, we wasn't sitting around talking about anybody else. In the fighters' meeting, they was asking about fight. No, Jojo Diaz. No, Jack Cattrall. That's professionalism. That's what we are, professionals.
A couple of things to run through, please, Ben. Your reaction to Khan Brook being made. We haven't spoke to you since it was by Boxer and Sky Sports, obviously.
Yeah, people saying that it's past his sell-by date. Yeah, it might be, but still don't know who's going to win. People are still going to tune in because of that. If one fighter was maybe past his best and the other wasn't, and we knew how the fight exactly was going to go, then yeah, people aren't going to tune in. But we don't know who's more past their best than the other. We don't know who's going to win. So, yeah, it's a fight. I'm going to tune in and watch it.
Bet you will. Tyson Fury with Dillian Whyte has been ordered by the WBC. Break that fight down for me quickly, please, Brem. Break it down honestly as you can.
this is the thing, when I talk about Tyson, talk about the opponents, he's extremely versatile, he is. But I don't know how he's going to go about this fight. Could come out and box Dillian Whyte as a southpaw. Could come out and box Dillian Whyte on the back foot. Could come out and box Dillian Whyte on the front foot. Could come out and box Dillian Whyte right up close on the inside. I think that it's important that he doesn't fall in with his shots. We know that Dillian Whyte's very, very good on the catch counter with the left hook. So it's important that he's not jumping in or falling in with his shots, and that he's smart with his defence and proactive with his defence. And Dillian Whyte's a big, strong guy, but Tyson's a bigger guy. I think actually even up close on the inside, Tyson's very, very good. I don't mean mid-range, I mean inside. Very, very good inside as well. So depending on how Tyson goes about the fight, I think depends on how entertaining the fight is. But I believe that there's potential for it to be a real entertaining scrap as well. But I couldn't tell you how he's going to go about the fight. So I don't know how the fight's going to play out. But I think Dillian deserves this shot, deserves this opportunity. Been mandatory for a long time, so it's good to see that he's finally getting his opportunity as well.
Before this fight was ordered, there was a lot of talk about Joshua potentially stepping aside. He didn't rule it out. Were you surprised with that? Because the kind of mantra always before that was, we want the Usyk fight, nothing else. Were you surprised with that?
No, not really, because it makes sense. Like, if you're going to get the number that's being thrown about, I don't know how true or false it is.
I don't know where that 40 million came from, but it weren't accurate.
Well, if it was anywhere in that ballpark, you'd be stupid not to take that if you guaranteed the winner. Come on. If reality is anybody, you'd be interested in doing it for that amount of money. Whether he was to have a fight on top of that in between, or was just going to wait it out, I don't know. But you just think, I've got more time getting paid enormous amounts of money to sit tight, put work in the gym and focus on one of two guys that he could potentially be. An extra time for him to do what he's doing, going around working with these other coaches and developing himself and developing his style. Maybe it would have made sense, but I don't know. Obviously, that's not the situation now, though, is it? So.
No, it isn't. And last one to close off on the BT show over the weekend. And
I want to see him win that fight.
What's that?
I want to see him win that fight.
Oh, Joshua we're talking about.
I want to see him win that fight because, one, I think that he has dedicated himself to his craft. He's probably overachieved in his career from his natural ability and how late he started in the game. However, that isn't a negative. That's look how much work he's put in to achieve what he's achieved. So he made the adjustment for the Ruiz fight, made massive adjustments, must have really dedicated himself to his craft, and I'd like to see him be able to do this, and it only leads into the fight everybody's wanted for years, which is Tyson and Joshua. So hopefully he can be successful in that.
Last one, as I was going to close off on the BT show over the weekend, we saw Anthony Yarde get redemption in some style and fashion. Are people getting overhyped, or does this actually put him back in the world mix?
Yeah, it puts him back in the world mix. I haven't watched the fight.
Have you not?
No, but Lee Wiley told me it was a very, very good performance, best performance that he's seen from him so far. Credit to him, credit to Tundi. Just nice to see guys that are putting in the work. And it showcased on the night. Credit to Lyndon and Pat as well. Obviously they got the win. Last time out I heard that Lyndon and Frank have parted ways, so I don't think there's probably going to be a third fight. But all the best to the guys.
Ben Davison, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Best of luck on Feb 26th, England v Scotland, undisputed, a massive occasion live on Sky Sports. Can you do a Scottish accent? Or?
You can. You can.
Terrible.